I grew up in a house with two older siblings, wonderful people. But when you're the youngest sibling, and maybe this is not a problem today, screens are everywhere, but when you were a younger sibling back when you pretty much had one television in the house, you either complained a lot, which I sometimes did, or you made the best of it and maybe just watched whatever was on the television. With my older sisters, this is often the tact I took, and I'm glad because I was exposed to a lot of movies and TV shows that probably were not things I would have sought out by myself according to my childhood interests. The one thing that was great about my sisters is they kinda could make it fun. I guess they realized that it was unusual for me to be so accepting to just plop on the couch next to them and watch soap operas often or movies that they really loved. They would often encourage me with trivia. They would ask me questions about the characters, or in the case of specific movies, like the movie I'm going to talk about today, Xanadu, they would encourage me to act out parts of the movie. This was fun. Sometimes with dialogue, we would go back and forth with one another. But in Xanadu, the thing that I would like to emulate was the roller skating. And we'll get into Xanadu in just a few minutes, but Xanadu has a lot of roller disco. Now, we didn't have a suitable place for roller discoing in our living room, but I would try to simulate what that would be like. Mind you, I couldn't even roller skate, so I would kind of just go in circles around our coffee table during the opening of Xanadu, the actual disco, fantasy, skate rink, crazy place, and I would pretend, kind of mime roller skating and clapping. I would clap along, and there's these great sort of stomping, clapping, and everybody shouting Xanadu. And I would do that for the entire scene, which could go on for a bit. Now, my sister loved this movie and watched it a lot. So I spent a lot of time going around our coffee table, pretending to skate and singing Xanadu. This was all well and good until my sister brought what would be her, and I'm doing air quotes here, boyfriend into the mix and somehow convinced him to watch Xanadu. I came in, saw Xanadu. Now I'm a bit younger and I don't realize what a third wheel is at this point. So I just sit down and start watching Xanadu with them. My sister, to her credit, does not kick me out. But then something very unusual happened. The scene that I normally dance to came on, and I started doing it. This was not a safe place, as it turns out, because this friend of hers was none too pleased with my behavior. He found it to be odd and maybe slightly off-putting, I'm not sure, and he used some colorful language to describe what I was doing, and my sister would have none of that. And she came down like the hammer of Thor upon him and kicked him out of the house. After that, I became very aware of what I was doing and that around my family, I could be a little sillier. It's a habit that sort of lingered with me over the years. Whenever Xanadu comes on, I am quite happy to watch it. If there's a coffee table nearby, I might even take a lap. And I do that not because I love the movie and I think the movie's fine. I do it mostly because of the memories of my sister. The fun we had watching this movie, the fact that she was willing to stick up for me when I was just being myself.